Welcome back. In the previous class, we have observed that how to discuss about the qualitative behavior of linear system as well as non-linear autonomous systems around the equilibrium point. In today's lecture, we are basically going to discuss that how to implement the linear time invariant system using help of computer, because you all know most of computer which we are using at present, that is nothing but digital computer. But whatever model we have developed or discussed in the previous classes, we found that that is continuous time model. Means for each time I have information of a state, I have information of output, but computer is only able to understand the discrete data. It means that whatever computer we are using nowadays, we have also some kind of computer that is able to understand the analog data, but most of common computer is only able to understand the digital data or whatever microprocessor we have. So almost all are based on the discrete data. So it means that data is only available at finite sample of point. So in order to implement or in order to see the behavior of output for the some particular input of any physical system, first we have to represent that continuous time system into equivalent discrete time system. And one of the simplest way to achieve the discrete time state space model from continuous time state space model is the discretization. And here again I am going to start with this particular system, and this particular system is the LTI system, linear time invariant system. And I am assuming here again x belongs to Rn. I am assuming that u belongs to Rp or Rm you can write, or y belongs to Rm. And in this way, what happens that I have some information of initial condition, and I know ut for all t greater than equal to 0, then I can calculate the output of this system. So this system is basically continuous time LTI system. So generalized continuous time LTI system can be represented like this. And by the knowledge of information of the differentiation, because we all are knowing that whenever we are defining the differentiation of any quantity, how basically we are defining, we are taking the increment, and suppose I have some signal at t time, then we are calculating t plus t, and we are making limit t tending towards 0. So if limit tending towards 0, then this right hand side is exactly equal to x dot. But if this t is not sufficiently small, then I cannot tell that left hand side equal to right hand side. So if I remove limit sign from here, then I can just able to tell that x dot is approximated by this kind of quantity xt plus t minus xt by t. So here t has some finite value, and that finite value we are telling that step size. So if this step size is not very small, then we are telling that x dot t is approximated by this, and this kind of discretization technique is called Euler discretization technique. So now what we are going to do, that we are going to replace the left hand side, means x dot, by this particular approximation. So if you replace x dot by this kind of approximation, then you can see that and after that what happens, that t I have, and t is some scalar, so I have multiplied t in this side, and after that in right hand side, and after that xt minus t minus xt I have collected in this side. Please note here that whatever xt I am going to talk, so that xt is basically belongs to Rn. So basically due to that reason, if I take xt out from this particular expression, then I have this kind of quantity, and that quantity is nothing but I plus at. Here I have written this is a unit matrix, and dimension of this unit matrix is n cross n, where all diagonal entry is d1. So basically this is the approximated model, and after that you can see that in order to compute the value of output from that model, what basically we are going to do, that we are going to now put this kind of step, and a step is like this, because what we are telling that I have some sampling instant t. So suppose I have some particular signal, and meaning of sampling is that suppose I am here and this point is suppose k equal to 1, then next instant I am going to come here, and that is k equal to 2. So suppose that this is time and this is yt, so I am just going to to consider these finite points only. And if you are just worrying about these points, then what happens in this particular model, in this particular equation, I am going to replace this time t by some kind of time that is k function of the sampling instant t, so kt. It means that whatever model here, this model you can see that valid for all t, but if I substitute t equal to kt, then that particular model is only valid for this kind of point, that is t equal to kt. So basically under this assumption I have this kind of model, and this model is only valid at the some kind of discrete points, and this particular model is called discrete time state space model. So again I have matrix here, and you can define this matrix by AD. Here I have again some modification. You can here T and B. So you can define this as a this particular quantity T and B as a BD. So I have this kind of quantity as a BD, and C remains as it is, D remains as it is, but sometime for convenience people are telling this is CD and this is DD. So in this way I am going to get some kind of equivalent model of the continuous time system, but this particular model is only valid at the finite point, and that is t equal to kt. So in this way we will approximate the continuous time linear time invariant system to discrete time linear time invariant system. Now this is the one approach, but you can see that I have certain advantage obviously, that this approximation, whatever approximation I have talked, that is very simple, but disadvantage is that this is not so accurate provided t is sufficiently small, because if t is sufficiently small, then only I can give guarantee that x dot whatever, because you can see that underlying philosophy is somehow motivated from the differentiation definition of differentiation, and if t is tending towards 0, then exactly I can tell that x dot t equal to xt minus t plus t minus xt by t. But if t is not tending towards 0, then I am just able to tell that this is just equivalent but not equal. So in order to convert continuous time linear LTI system to discrete time LTI system, we have to select this t as smaller as possible. Then only I can tell that whatever model we get at discrete instant, that is more accurate. So, but I will tell you in the later part of this course, if you select t as a more smaller, then what kind of difficulty comes into picture during the computer simulation. Due to that reason, I have written the second point, that main disadvantage here, that least accurate for a given t. So suppose if t is larger, then whatever model or discrete equivalent we are getting, that is not so much accurate. So this is the one of the way, means Euler discretization of continuous time LTI system, and we are telling that as a discrete time LTI system. Now let us come to the another way of discretization, and actually this discretization is motivated from the solution of continuous time LTI system. So basically what we are telling, that I know the closed form solution of continuous time system, and using the help of that solution, now I am going to recover the another model that is only valid at the discrete instant. So suppose that I have some system and I am willing to simulate that system or willing to control that system using computer. So my original system is continuous. So due to that reason, whatever input data ut, you can see that I have taken ut and t is t for all t greater than equal to 0, and corresponding to ut I have continuous data. But our digital computer is unable to interpret this continuous data. Due to that reason, I need one intermediate block, that is called analog to digital converter. So I have some kind of physical circuit which will convert analog signal into digital signal, and it means that if I have certain kind of continuous signal here like this, then this particular A to D is just going to select signal at some finite instant, means at this instant, at this instant, at this instant. In this way, we are telling that I have this equal to t, 2t, 3t, and like this, and this is 0. After that, you can see that most of time whenever we are applying control, that is somehow in feedback mechanism that is coming from the output, and our output is now become digital. But again, whatever input we are providing to the system, that is continuous in nature. So again I have to put another block that is reverse of this. So here we are using analog to digital, now I have to use digital to analog, and this clock is telling us that what kind of step size I am going to select. And in the previous discretization technique, we have already seen that if this step size is t is smaller, then somehow we are fully able to recover this signal. So this clock actually provides the information of this value of t, means step size. So if now you consider this whole things as a single system, so this is now my physical system, and now you try to see the input of this system. So input is discrete and whatever output, that is again discrete. So original system is continuous, but adding three physical block. One is clock, one is A to D converter, and another is D to A converter. I have converted this whole system into some kind of discrete system, and we are assuming that here kt and k I have 0, 1, 2 and up to n. So that is only valid at this particular instant. So somehow we are telling that I am not worrying about what is going to happen in between, but we are telling that the information yt, you can see that discrete instant as well as continuous instant both are exactly equal, and due to that reason this wording is used here, that is zero order hold sampling of system. It means that at this point t, whatever data that is coming from the continuous time system and discrete time system, equivalent discrete time system, that is exactly equal. So this is the somehow block diagram of continuous time system connected to A to D or D to A converter. So whenever we have computer control system, at that time we have to use this kind of arrangement. Now let us come to the mathematical part. So what is remark here, if I have some input and input is ut, is generated by digital computer followed by a digital to analog converter, because what I am telling that our original system is still only able to interpret the continuous time data. Due to that reason I have to again convert our discrete data from digital to analog converter, because we are applying control input only at discrete instant. So we have to convert our data, digital data, into analog data, and here we are maintaining this kind of behavior, and this behavior is called zero order hold behavior. It means that whatever continuous output at time instant t and whatever continuous discrete means output at t, both are equal. So in this way, how basically we are doing, suppose that I have to apply this kind of signal. So this is my input signal ut, and I am assuming for engineering system t greater than 0, so only I am interpreting from here. So basically in order to apply this kind of data, what we are telling that we are constructing some kind of str kind of function. So basically here if I select ut at this point, after that that remains constant up to second one, again suppose here, then that remains constant for next instant, and again like this. So I have some kind of str kind of function with respect to time. So same kind of things I have written here. Now please try to see one more important thing here, that what I am telling that my system is continuous, means control is always available to my system, but due to some kind of digital arrangement I can only change control at some instant, and that instant is nothing but kt. So between kt to k plus 1t, I am telling that value of control value is remains constant. So somehow I am applying this some kind of response, or that is called somehow unit step response. So we are applying some kind of a step response to the system, and I am modifying the response only after k plus 1t. So it means that my system, if I have some system and I have some kind of input and some kind of output, and if that is controlled by computer, so basically my control action is updated only at k t instant. It means that between kt to k plus t instant, my system is running in open loop. Open loop means I am not able to change control action between kt to k plus 1 t, that remain constant. Due to that reason, whenever we have computer control system, then two behavior basically comes into picture, that is called open loop behavior as well as closed loop behavior. So system will acts like closed loop system at the discrete instant, because each discrete instant we are changing the control action, but in between of the discrete instant I have open loop control. Open loop control means you can apply something but you are unable to change. So between kt plus k plus 1 t I am not able to change. So somehow whenever we are talking about computer control system, at that time I have two behavior, open loop behavior plus closed loop behavior. So closed loop behavior only at discrete instant, and in between that is called intersampling behavior, and that is open loop behavior. Now let us come to the solution, how basically we are represent the discrete time instant discrete time system exactly at the sampling instant. So for that I am going to take the help of solution, and I have already told you that, or I have also derived this, that if I have system like x dot equal to ax plus bu, then what is the solution? So, and if you remember that solution, I am again going to recall that that solution, because it might possible some of you may forget about the solution. So solution is like this: suppose I have x dot equal to ax plus b ut, then solution can be written like this: xt equal to e power at x t0 or x0. If t0, then t minus t0 comes into picture, and after that 0 to t e power a t minus tau b u tau into d tau. So this is the solution of this particular continuous time LTI system. So basically what we are telling, that since continuous time system and discrete time system is exactly equal at t equal to kt, so just I am going to substitute here in this solution, in this particular solution at t equal to kt. After substituting this, I will get this expression. Now this is solution at kt instant, and solution is only going to change. Solution means control is only going to update after t equal to k plus t instant. Due to that reason, we are telling that next solution, and in between basically we have open loop behavior. So I will fix ut here, and after that we will see the behavior of system between kt to k plus 1t. And next time what happens, that once t equal to k plus 1 t instant comes into picture, at that time my control is going to update, and in order to see the behavior, just you can substitute t equal to k plus 1 into t, and then I will get this kind of behavior. Now you can see here that in this particular expression I can take e power at out, then I have this kind of manipulation, and this is pretty easy. So there is no need of explanation. So, and what we are telling, that here I have k plus 1 t, so I can actually, this particular integral can be divided into two parts, from 0 to kt, and another part is kt to k plus 1 t. So if you do that, then I can take e power 8 t out of this particular expression, and this expression is nothing but I can able to write that as a xk. And second, in second expression, now I have term like kt plus t minus tau, so I have defined as a alpha. If you substitute the lower limit, means tau equal to kt, then what happens, you have limit as a t. If you substitute tau as a k plus 1 t, k plus 1 multiplied by t, then at that time 0. So you have basically at k equal to t, you have limit from t to 0, and what happens, that if you calculate d alpha, then since these two quantity is constant, so minus d tau will come. So d alpha is minus d tau, and in order to absorb this negative sign, what happens, integral here integral is from, basically integral is t to 0, and here I have d tau. So if you absorb this negative sign here, then t become upper limit and 0 become lower limit, and my expression, this kind of expression comes into picture. So using that kind of property, now we are able to write the expression at the next instant, that is x k plus 1. So basically just we are dropping this time because now we are knowing the t. So whenever we are using this notion, I have already told you that this notion is exactly equal to k plus 1 into t. So most of time in literature, people are not denoting t, they are just writing like this. So this is one of the standard writing style. And now what I am telling, that whatever model I have obtained here, that is only valid at t equal to kt. So basically we are going to get this, and here ad. So from this particular equation you are able to collect ad. Ad is nothing but, here you can see that basically my ad in this particular expression, that is denoted by this particular quantity e plus at. My bd is nothing but, that is this particular quantity, and cd and dd remains the same, and due to that reason I have written like this. And this is exact discrete time model, because in this process I haven't done any kind of approximation. If you see the first case, Euler discretization, that is very simple, but what we have done, we have done approximation. But in this process I haven't done any approximation, because I know the exact form of solution of x dot equal to ax plus bu, and from the solution I am going to recover this kind of model, discrete time model. Due to that reason there is no approximation is involved here. But here you can see that if I will not do any kind of approximation, then one more level of difficulty comes into picture. And what is that difficulty? Here you can see that in order to calculate ad, I have to calculate e power at, and this is nothing but some kind of infinite series. Similarly bd, you can see here again same kind of quantity is involved. So this is exact model, but again I have some level of difficulty involved here. So most of time during simulation people are prefer first kind of discretization, means that is Euler discretization. But in order to do analysis of some system that is controlled by computer, people are using this kind of model, because in this model you can see that at least at discrete instant I am fully able to recover the original system. So due to that reason people are using, for some kind of quantitative analysis, people are using this kind of model. Now here you can see that during computation of bd some integral is involved, and I have already told you that this is some kind of series where tau lying between 0 to t is involved. So now question is that how to recover this integral, because this integral is somehow contain infinite many terms, and it is possible to show in next part that if matrix A is non-singular, and this is basically very standard result from linear algebra, and I am not going to prove this, but those who are interested, please check the literature of linear algebra. So what we are telling, that if A is non-singular, then in place of I can write A inverse A, and in that case what happens, that fully we are able to write this integral like this in this form. So first we will do expansion like this, after that we will do the integration, and after that if we are able to see that a matrix is non-singular, most of time in various system matrix A is non-singular only, then I can represent this whole BD in this form. And finally, now from here you can see that I can represent BD A inverse AD minus I into B if A is non-singular. So in this way I can recover the BD. And most of time now we have sophisticated computer, we have several sophisticated programming language, and MATLAB means is one of the most beautiful language for at least for control engineers. Several engineers also means several field means now means MATLAB become very rich, because using MATLAB you are able to simulate several classes of system. So what is my suggestion? If you do not know the MATLAB, then please try to learn MATLAB from one tutorial, one very famous tutorial, that is called CTMS tutorial. So from that CTMS tutorial, please try to learn the MATLAB. So in MATLAB, whatever computation we have done in order to convert the continuous time system to discrete time system, here I have some kind of ready-made command. So using this ready-made command, I can convert the continuous time system into discrete time system, and this is C2D. So this kind of program is already written in MATLAB. So there is no need to write the program, just you have to write C2D, and you have to input A matrix, B matrix, and sampling time T. Then it is possible to automatically you are able to get discrete time model into continuous time model. One more important thing I am going to highlight here, if you see this particular things very much carefully, then you are able to see one more behavior, because I have already told you that between T to T means T and T plus 1, whatever system I have in this, in between T to K plus T to K plus 1 T, I have system, and where we are not updating the control but time. Here you can see that in this particular solution, if I will substitute T here, then what happens, that T equal to KT here, then I have this kind of expression. But in between of this, in between T and K plus T, basically my system become open loop. So at that time I cannot give guarantee that whatever discrete time system in between of sample, that is linear time invariant. So I am only able to get linear time invariant system at the discrete instant. So we are converting continuous time linear system into discrete time linear system, discrete time LTI linear system only at the discrete instant. So this observation I forget to tell you. So in this way, using help of the MATLAB, you are able to directly convert from continuous time system to discrete time system. I have actually done some kind of simple exercise also to convert some first order continuous time system into discrete time system. So here in this particular problem, I am assuming X belongs to R, I am assuming U belongs to R, and alpha and beta are some constant. So now AD matrix I can recover like this, and BD I can recover like this. We know how to integrate this. So basically BD is this. So basically here sampled system means I have xk that is continuous, but in this representation I am only able to understand xk at the discrete instant. So this is the this one can also tell this as a sampled data system or sampled model, sometimes people are telling. Another example I have taken for double integrator, and again I have done same kind of exercise. So here you can see that luckily what happens, that this infinite series e power at is basically terminate after these two terms. So due to that reason it is very easy to recover this. Now once I will recover it, and if matrix A is non-singular, then you are able to write the closed form solution, but please see here that is no longer means non-singular. This is singular matrix. So due to that reason, you have only one way you have to calculate the integral. So please check it that value of BD is equal to this or not. Now if, and I have actually done calculation, and after that I found this is the BD. So second order model, discrete time model, which is only valid at the discrete point, that is represented like this. So slowly you can do some kind of exercise by yourself also. Similarly, I have already discussed this model, electric motor with the inertia load. I think that I have discussed this in third or fourth class. So please go there and again check that this is the model. Now suppose that if I have to represent this model in discrete time, because most of time whenever I have some kind of motor, and again what we are basically doing that we are controlling some kind of plant or some kind of continuous plant using some kind of motor, and in between that somehow some kind of microprocessor or some kind of computer is involved. So due to that reason we have to understood the discrete model of this. So what I am going to do, I am assuming x1 equal to omega and x2 equal to theta. You can see that I have assumed in reverse way, but one can also assume x1 equal to theta and x2 equal to omega. And for simplicity I have substituted this is called normalization, and E equal to U, then we will get this kind of model. And again if you will calculate AD, then you will get this, and BD you can get this. So you have to do this exercise by yourself, that how to calculate AD and BD, and I have written the final answer, so please check it. So now what we are telling that in both case I have x plus k, either you can use the Euler discretization or zero order whole discretization, you will get this kind of model. Here I have AD, BD, CD and DD, but if you see the literature of discrete control system or discrete time system, they dropped that AD, BD, because now we are able to understand that here A matrix, if I have continuous time system, then how to obtain this A matrix. Sometimes what happens, some model is inherently discrete. So suppose that if you are talking about population model, so sometimes one can assume that population is not going to increase continuously, that is increase only at discrete point. So at that time if you will done that kind of modeling, then inherently discrete model comes into picture. Due to that reason people are writing again discrete model like this general form. And now suppose I have to solve this particular equation. So solution is very easy whenever we have discrete model. So what we are doing that we are putting k equal to 0 and we are constructing x1 a x0 plus b u0. So suppose that if I know x0 and u0, because always whenever I have some system, either continuous time system or discrete time system, what we are assuming that I know the initial condition and I know the control input also. So two kind of things is already known to me, then I can talk about yt. So same kind of things I am telling that x0 is known to me and u0 is known to me, but that is not known always, that is only known at some instant. So when I have started our experiment, at that time I know x0 and u t0 I know at each discrete instant, means t equal to kt. So due to that reason I am going to substitute this. So I can recover x1, and once you will recover x1, then easily you are able to recover x2 by putting k equal to 1 here. So ax1 here and x1, now you are knowing what is x1, so just couple it here, and you know u1. Similarly, in order to generate x3, now you can put k equal to 2, and again you use this kind of information. So if you do this kind of repeated calculation, then finally you will end up with this series. and this is pretty easy to check. So please do checking by putting k equal to 2, k equal to 3, and after that please check that whatever model that is going to comes into picture, that is represented like this or not. And after that, if I know xk, then just in place of xk if I will put, then I will get yk. So in this way, by repeated addition, I can able to recover the solution of discrete time model. And for simplicity, I have taken a very simple example. And here, suppose I have this kind of system, and I am assuming that I have 0 into buk. So the 0, or you can write like this, then that things 0 into uk. So basically this matrix, whatever matrix here, that is 0, I have 0 0, you can write like this. So basically now I have some kind of autonomous system, not force system, and I know the initial condition. And if you put inside above summation, then it is possible to show that you will get this kind of solution. So please again check it. Now here from solution I can able to talk about the behavior of solution also. So suppose if lambda I that is less than 1, so you can see that this term is means I have reached, so lambda 1 power k, and if that is less than 1, so if k is very large, then finally what happens, this is xk has two states, x1 and x2, this equal to 0. Similarly, if this condition satisfy, then this is also tending towards 0. So what we are telling, in case of the discrete time system, if eigenvalue of the matrix that is less than unity, then whatever means initial condition, finally that is we are going to converge to the 0. So after sufficient many instant, means when k tending towards infinity, basically I have xk that is tending towards the 0. And this kind of behavior we will only get if lambda I is strictly less than 1. Now I am going to tell you that how to simulate any continuous time state space system using MATLAB, because MATLAB is, I have already told you that most of time people are using computer simulation to show that what is behavior of the system for some particular input. So again I am assuming that my system is continuous time system, and for simplicity I have just taken LTI system, linear time invariant system. And in the next part of this course I will also tell you that how to simulate the nonlinear system. So basically again I am assuming x belongs to Rn. So whenever I am writing this, then I have already told you that meaning of this is ut belongs to Rm and y belongs to Rp. So after that, what is our aim? I want to compute the output excited by some input, and here since I am performing some kind of computer program, so I have to limit myself. So I am limiting my time from for 0 to tf, and I know the initial time. So I know the initial time, initial condition, and I know the control input for all t, and that t lie between 0 to tf. Then I want to know the output of the system. So that is my problem, and using computer program I want to see this kind of response. So what is first step? First step, we have to select the size, and after that I am going to, after selecting this size, I am going to do the continuous to discrete time conversion, and for that I am going to use first method, means Euler discretization, because that is very simple. So AD you can see that easily one can calculate, also BD easily one can calculate. Due to that reason I have adopted this. But one difficulty in this particular kind of things, that how to select T, means how to select a step size. So we have already seen that if T is very small, then what happens, that we are accurately able to get the result. It means that my result is more accurate, but this required lot of computation, because each time t you have to do some kind of addition. So if t is very small, then you have to perform large number of computation. So due to that reason, I cannot select t arbitrary small. So due to that reason, I am going to take help of the sampling theorem. And what sampling theorem is suggesting, that suppose you have some signal output yt, yt as a output signal. So basically what happens, that I have input, so I have some input of the system and I have some output of the system. So from discrete input, I am planning to convert, or I am planning to get the whole behavior. So I have to do interpolation. So if I know just n number of data, but using n number of data, I want to plot the whole behavior from 0 to tf. So sampling theorem suggests, I am not going to prove this, that if you select t smaller than this value, that value is pi by omega max, and this is topic of communication basically, then it is possible to show that if you just know the some data at the sample instant, then you are exactly able to get the yt. So this is for the theoretical guarantee, that if my time t is pi by omega max, and omega max is here is basically the frequency spectrum of this particular signal. It means that in order to apply this theorem, I have to know frequency spectrum, and most of time we do not know the output. Due to that reason, I cannot apply this method. So due to that reason, I am going to try using hit and trial. So I will select some t, and if I see the behavior, I have certain kind of behavior. After that, I will take some smaller t. Again, I will plot it. Again, I will take some more smaller. After some time, you are able to see that even if I will take any smaller value of t, my output remains the same. And in that way, we are selecting, and we are telling during practical implementation that you can select this particular value of t. Now, what I am going to do, that I am going to write one computer program using MATLAB for this particular system. So I have third order system, and this is matrix A, continuous time matrix. This is I have B matrix, and this is C matrix. So I have just one output. Why I am one output? You can see that, and I am assuming there is no coupling between input and output. And if you multiply these two, then you can see that only yt equal to x3. So suppose I have to write program for this particular system, and this is continuous time LTI system, and suppose my input is this sine 2t. In the next part of this course, we will see that how to design control for some system in order to get some behavior. But here our just aim to simulate this system. Due to that reason, I have selected some particular input ut, that is sine 2t, for all t greater than equal to 0, and this is the initial condition, because in order to simulate something, I have to know the initial condition also. So let us try to see that how to write computer program for this. So I have basically written this computer program. So here you can see that in this particular computer program, what happens, that first I have to define the system matrix. And one of the way to write computer program, that whenever you are writing the computer program, at that time please write the comments also. So in that way you are able to interpret the program, or some unknown people will read, then they are able to understand what program is telling. So you can see here that what we have done, I am writing that system parameter expressed in MATLAB format. So I have defined this matrix. So A, that is system matrix I have defined, and after that B, that is input matrix I have defined. C is the output matrix, and I am assuming that there is no coupling between input and output. Due to that reason, I am considering d equal to 0. Now what happens, that we have to write one state space model, and I have ready-made program inside MATLAB to do that, and that is that function is SS, means state space model. So if I know A, B, C and D, then automatically they will write the state space model. So actually I have called that program here, and after that I have told you that I am just going to simulate that system from some time instant 0 to 50. Here you can see that I have selected sampling interval t equal to 1, and another part of program I am going to select another sampling instant also, and after that you can see that I have constructed input corresponding to this time. Here whenever you have 0 to 50, we are telling that I am collecting sample for each time instant 1, and I have provided the initial condition. In MATLAB, whenever you are writing any matrix and suppose you have to write column vector, then we are using this kind of symbol. So those who are not aware, please read from the CTMS tutorial. And after that, once I know the state space model, so finally I have to do repeated addition, and for that inside computer we have another program that is called LSIM. So LSIM is means I have linear summation basically. So here I have linear summation to compute the output. So I have called that function ss. After that I have called the input, and I have also called the time from which time to which time I have to simulate, and I am going to recall the initial condition. Due to that reason, I have 4 different kind of input inside this function. Now I have to plot same kind of things for some another time interval, that is t equal to 0.1. Due to that reason, I have again modify the time instant. Now again 0 to 50, but you can see that time sampling instant here is 0.1, and in that way now ut again I have to create sample at each 0.1 second. Due to that reason, I have modified program like this, and again output y2 is I have written like this, and again for third I have again taken the sampling instant here that is much lower, that is 0.01. So again I have called another program same like above, and after that in last of this program you can see here I have written plot function. So plot function contain the t1 y1, t2 y2, t3 y3, and this particular things which is written in bracket, it means that I want to see the response of t1 and y1t using this symbol. Similarly, I want to see the response of t2 and yt with a star, and t3 y3 with some kind of solid line. If you are not writing anything, then obviously solid line comes into picture, and I have to simulate that system to 0 to 50. So x-axis is 0 to 50, and after that y-axis that is automatically generated, and I am assuming that here this is 0 0, so I am going to start from 0 0, and this is the labeling. So time x-axis is time and y-axis is the amplitude, and if you run this program, then you can see now that after running this program, this particular blue line is for sample t equal to 1, but after t.0.1 what happens, and t.0.01 you can see that exactly both are coinciding. It means that if I select my sample 0 less than 0.1, then I can fully able to recover the output, means amplitude of the signal with respect to time. So in this way, if you have some kind of discrete time system, you are able to simulate using MATLAB. And now I am going to conclude this lecture. So what you have learned in this lecture, if you have some continuous time system, then how to write MATLAB program such that I can implement or see the response of the system using the MATLAB. We have also seen that if some system is controlled by computer, then we have 2 different kind of behavior, open loop behavior as well as closed loop behavior. Due to that reason, we are equally concerned with open loop system and closed loop system. So with this discussion, I am going to stop the today's lecture. So thank you very much.